Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to the B1M top 10 construction projects completing in 2024. I feel like I react to like these sorts of videos for every year because this stuff does fascinate me, and also like you see how the world is going now. Technology is going crazy, but construction I don't feel like is any different. You see all these projects being mentioned, and yeah, the world seems to be advancing very quick in all aspects pretty much. So I'm fascinated to see what projects are being like sort of lined up to be completed this year, and that's pretty much it. We're going to check this out. Hopefully you're going to enjoy. Let's jump into this and see some of these projects.
T24. In the past year, we've seen some incredible feats of construction, from desert skyscrapers and Japanese super tools to an underwater megatunnel and a new dam being built.
I'd never understand how they make tunnels underwater. Like, for example, the Eurotunnel between England and France. I don't get how they made that. I just don't get
What's
it.
in front of a dam to save a dam? Dam!
Oh, damn.
But the next year looks set to be even more dramatic, with massive Spanish stadiums, Australian railways, Canadian super tools, and a Parisian Olympic opening ceremony that'll be unlike any we've ever seen. It's the world's greatest industry that's set to pull off all of these amazing feats and more over the next 12 months. Here are the 10 most exciting construction projects completing in 2024.
Let's get into this.
Ooh la la! 2024 will undoubtedly go down as the year of the French. Now, don't worry, we are going to get onto other projects around the world, but this country has more spots than any other on our list this year, and there's one big fat reason for that.
The City of Lights is getting ready to shine.
The Paris Olympics.
The Paris Olympics.
Paris stages its third Olympiad.
The Olympic Games. Normally, that would mean excess. Think epic new stadiums and lavish mega projects. But this is an Olympics unlike any other. Having built up a bit of a reputation for its cost, and the estimated $12.9 billion that the pandemic hit Tokyo Games ran to, Olympic officials...
Yeah, and then Tokyo made all of that, and then no one was in the stadiums for it. It was just like, god damn, you've really done all of this for no like revenue at all. Bit sad, but...
I've been wanting to rebrand, cut down on waste, and generally create a cleaner event. One way to do that is by reusing old buildings, and 95% of the venues for this year's games will be held either in existing or temporary structures. Many of the venues that are already standing are being refurbished and modernised where needed, while temporary ones are going to be constructed around the city and dismantled once the games are over. Like this spectacular arena built at the...
That's quite cool. They're building an arena in front of the Eiffel Tower. God, that is incredible. Wait, is it for the football as well? I guess maybe this is... I don't know what football this would be for.
Foot of the Eiffel Tower. Not only is this less wasteful, but it means events can be...
I'll tell you what would be incredible. If they made a temporary basketball arena and then you've got like the best basketball players playing in front of the Eiffel Tower. I don't know if that would be possible because probably outside, for example, I guess I'd want it to be fully enclosed, but the idea is pretty insane.
Held in different and interesting parts of the city. The only permanent new venue will be the Aquatic Centre, an impressive looking venue that's been built largely with sustainably sourced mass timber. It'll be reused after the Olympics for international and national competitions. The 5,000 square metre roof will also be covered with photovoltaic panels, making it one of France's largest urban solar farms, supplying all the energy the building will need. Inside, the smaller than usual space has been carefully calibrated to maintain views for spectators while reducing the size of the room that needs to be heated.
It's quite small. Compared to like the one that was in London, that one was massive. But that also had like diving in it as well, I think.
The ambition to be clean and green has stretched to other parts of the French capital too, most notably its river. Massive treatment facilities have been constructed in a bid to make the Seine swimmable, something which has not been possible for more than 100 years.
Jeez.
That's because French officials banned swimmers from the river back in 1923 due to metal and fecal bacteria in the water. The enormous cleanup will cost over $1.5 billion and involves what is basically a giant rainwater holding tank measuring 50 metres wide and 34 metres deep, storing up to 46 million litres of water before it's transported via a tunnel to a treatment facility. That clean water will then be pumped back into the Seine. The goal is for swimming trials to be hosted here like they were in the 1900s.
So they're slowly going to basically clean out the water, I guess. Like, over time it will get cleaner and cleaner. I assume that's how it will work.
Olympics. The Paris opening ceremony will also take place on the river in a spectacular display that promises to be the largest Olympic opening in history.
Wait, it's going to be on the river? Okay.
Finishing up right under the Eiffel Tower.
There we go.
Now, before we leave the French capital, there is one other major project that we
Notre
have to
Dame.
mention.
One of the great symbols of Paris and all of Western civilization. It is still standing this morning after a fire that nearly destroyed it.
Oh yeah, there was the fire. What caused the fire again?
The restoration of Notre Dame has been a long and...
Mate, that's actually just so depressing. You're seeing all this history just gone like that. What caused this fire? I mean, they're refurbishing it, right? But you can see it's fell apart. So, I mean, it's just basically being redone. That is the depressing,
complicated process. The devastating fire of 2019 destroyed much of the interior and the iconic wooden spire. Rebuilding Europe's most visited landmark to its former glory is no mean feat. It's cost more than $900 million and has run into several major setbacks already. Miraculously, most of the cathedral will be open by the end of 2024, meeting President Emmanuel Macron's original deadline. While it will take a little longer to complete the interiors, much of the exterior should be complete, including the famous spire. Located on the southern part of the island nation, Kaohsiung has a population of more than 2.7 million people, making it the third largest in the country. But don't let that fool you. This economic powerhouse is home to Taiwan's largest port and the 13th busiest port in the entire world. The bustling city is currently going through a massive upgrade of its metro, and this new station sits in the very heart of the mega project. It'll be a true
Look at that.
transportation hub, linking train, metro, local and intercity bus services, taxi and bike routes. There's also a 9.75 kilometre railway tunnel which includes no fewer than 7 new subterranean stations. A sweeping canopy over the 8.5 hectare site means it also doubles as a new year-round public park for the city.
Train station and a public park. Pretty incredible.
Rising 458 metres into the sky, this will be the tallest new building to complete in 2024, and it will rank among the top 20 tallest skyscrapers in the world. 8 of the 10 tallest buildings completing in 2024 are going to be in China.
Of course.
The other 2 are in Dubai and Cairo. Despite the country's recent tall skyscraper ban and the downfall of property giant Evergrande, China is still very much leading the world in high-rise construction. 73 of the 100 tallest buildings currently being built are in China. The International Land Sea Centre is a 98-storey part of an 11-tower master plan designed by Kohn Pedersen Fox that'll completely overhaul Chongqing's downtown. Built on the banks of the Yangtze River, one of the major train lines in the city will actually pass directly through the building at its base. This dazzling light display marked the super tall towers topping out back in 2022. Australia's largest metro is getting a much-needed expansion. The 30-kilometre new line burrows under Sydney Harbour and through to new CBD stations that are due to open in 2024. The project has been called arguably the most transformative piece of transport since the Harbour Bridge. At a cost of $20 billion, the new network is one of the largest suburban rail projects in the world, rivaling even the Grand Paris Express. There we go, mentioning the French again. And
yeah, they're featuring a lot, aren't they? I guess the Olympics will do that.
That's all just the start. By 2030, Sydney will have 113 kilometres of new metro rail and some 46 new stations. Now, if all of this is inspiring you and you're wondering what it takes to be an engineer on a huge project like Taiwan's new station or the Sydney metro expansion, then know that a knowledge of STEM subjects...
Was he securing the bag? Secured the bag. Let's go, man. Get that money.
projects.
Schmoney. Number 7.
Next, we're heading over to Toronto.
Finally, the first one in North America. So we've been in Europe, we've been in Asia, we've been in Oceania, and now North America.
A frantic race to build Canada's new tallest building is heading towards the final straight. Strict zoning laws and a rising population mean the city is seeing a massive skyscraper boom and will soon overtake Chicago as the urban
I was thinking that's where that's been there for. That's like what Canada's. Toronto. I think that's Toronto has been known for.
area with the second most skyscrapers in North America. Designed by Foster & Partners, the One will rise 306 metres above the city to become Canada's first super tall building, offering apartments, commercial space, and a hotel when it completes. The building's extreme.
How do you section it off like that? So like one section will be a hotel, one section will be for apartments, and then one for like office space, or is it just mixed in between? I don't really know how you do that, but
Height for its location has resulted in a number of engineering challenges, most notably with taming the wind. With so many tall buildings now springing up across Toronto, the wind being blown down to street level has become a major issue. To get around this, cutaways have been created in the building's mechanical floors to help disrupt wind flow, stabilise the building, and prevent air currents blowing down to pedestrians below.
it's crazy how engineering can do that stuff.
From one skyscraper boom
Frankfurt.
to another,
Frankfurt's got loads of big buildings, hasn't it?
Frankfurt's skyline is set to get dramatically taller over the next few years. There are currently more than 50 high-rises either being built or planned in this city. Leading the charge is 4 Frankfurt, a mega development of, you guessed it, 4 towers, which is due to finish in 2024.
Oh,
the
wow.
tallest new building in the cluster will rise 233 metres above street level. For decades, the city centre and the banking district have been severed, but this development will reconnect them, creating a new mixed-use neighbourhood in the process. The site will contain offices, apartments, a hotel, shops and restaurants, literally acting as its own little city within a city. I visited the site in 2023 to see its progress, and the towers are shaping up nicely. So, Kuala Lumpur kind of has a thing for skybridges.
I've seen this one.
This massive complex is going up right next to the iconic Petronas Towers, a world-famous skyscraper duo linked by what's probably the world's most famous skybridge. Raising the bar, well, Oxley Towers has 2 of these sky-high connections, each with their own rooftop garden.
Why, man?
The sprawling 3-tower structure will contain nearly 2 million square metres of floor space, 5 times that of the nearby Petronas complex, and its tallest tower will rise to a super tall height of 338 metres. Inside is yet another veritable city within a city. Think the usual mix of apartments, offices, commercial spaces, restaurants, shops.
That's quite cool though. I mean, I guess maybe one building like this one maybe more for like commercial, this is like more for living, office. You could technically just live in these buildings and not leave, which is pretty crazy to think.
You get the idea. The Malaysian capital's skyscraper boom also shows no signs of slowing down.
Is that a walkie-talkie? What?
Oxley Towers will join the recently completed Exchange Tower and the now tallest building in the city and second tallest building in the world, Merdeka 118. No.
This is the Bernabeu, right? This stadium looks crazy now. It's got like a retractable field that will like it can go. So this is like the football pitch or the soccer pitch, and then it can be retracted, and then they've got the American football pitch to come out. Crazy how you can even do that.
It's not an enormous sandwich toaster. This is the $1 billion new home of Spanish football legends Real Madrid. The Santiago Bernabeu has undergone an incredible transformation to become the self-declared best stadium in the world. This is what it looked like just a few years ago when it was already one of Europe's most iconic venues. The refurb has included, most obviously, a massive wraparound facade made up of strips of steel which are going to be lit up at night and have images and videos projected onto them. The stadium's capacity has been raised from around 81,000 to 85,000, and a retractable roof and new terraces have been added. There's also an amazing retractable pitch that can be segmented and stored below ground, cleverly stacked to avoid the metro line running under the pitch. While gigs happen in the stadium, the grass below ground is kept in optimal condition.
So this is how they keep the fucking pitch. That is wild, man. That is absolutely insane.
And even mown by the grounds team.
What?
This video was sponsored.
Technology's got crazy, man. It really has. But it's just enjoyable to learn and see how the world is going, right? But I know France has already featured enough, but not including Grand Paris Express is a spectacular mission. But there we go. Hopefully you find this interesting. Let me know your thoughts on these projects. And yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.